with Ivan Devalle, the Angry Bird, Benjamin Glossop from XPTV Sports, setting you up for a pay-per-view with RFC 34 here in your hometown, Tampa, Florida. Ivan, you were 5-0 as an amateur. You made your 5 fights to qualify to be a professional fighter in Florida, and you did it in undefeated style. Let's talk about the guy that fought his very first amateur fight. Who was that guy?
I was a point sparring kickboxer competitor with a wrestling background record, and I was just very raw. I didn't know how to mix it up, and I've always wanted to do it. I wanted to move out of point sparring and wrestling to kind of put both styles together and become a mixed martial artist. They threw me against a guy named Andy Gomi from Matt Hughes' camp. The guy was 14-0. I went into this fight a month of training, MMA training. They just told me, "You're ready, you can go. Let's get you a fight." I didn't know who he was. I really don't look up my opponents. And I took the fight last minute. The guy was 14-0. They basically set me up for a failure, but I believe in myself every time I get in that cage. And I just pulled through it. I guillotined him second round, 14 seconds into the second round by guillotine choke.
So let's walk through that. Your very first fight, you're literally thrown to the wolves.
Yes, sir.
You go 5-0 as an amateur. You go 3-0 as a pro. So you have an 8-0 career. Your only loss was in a title fight.
Yes, sir.
So no shame in that because you've made it 8-0 to a title fight. But that amateur experience to where you are tonight on this great pay-per-view with RFC has had to have built quite the platform for you to stand on.
Yes, sir. I'm very proud to be an RFC fighter, to be able to build my MMA career here in Tampa. I've always wanted to fight in a city where fighters come from, and I heard that Florida was a very tough state for MMA fighters to build their careers, and this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going to stay. I'm going to continue to represent my team and hopefully get more fights with the RFC in the future.
His history speaks for itself. From amateur to pro, it's Ivan Devalle, the Angry Bird, coming to you, RFC 34 on pay-per-view. Here we go, fight fans, from Tampa, Florida, July 24th. It's RFC 34 on pay-per-view. Starring guys like this guy, Ivan Devalle, the Angry Bird, is bringing action to millions of you fight fans at home. You do not want to miss this. Get the pay-per-view and get ready for some action.